The AFC Championship game is set, and stop me if you've heard this before. The Chiefs are going to play the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Locked On Chiefs.
From the land of the free and the home of the Chiefs, this is the Locked On Chiefs podcast.
Welcome in, everybody. The Chiefs have an opponent for the AFC Championship game. We are going to run it all down for you today, but we are brought to you by PrizePicks. You can get in the action over there at prizepicks.com/LockedOnNFL. Use our code LockedOnNFL in all lowercase, and you can win $50 instantly when you play $5. You might want to get into the action on this particular ball game. We're going to run it all down for you. He is Chris Clark from KC Chiefs Corner. I'm Ryan Tracy from NFL 33, RGR Football, and Rogue Analytics and Performance Consulting. Thank you for checking out our other outlets. We very much appreciate you. Thanks for being here on Locked On Network right now. Check out another Locked On show for your next listen. Thanks for being here with us first. We very much appreciate it. And if you want that much more, get over on the text line at 816-357-8781. We're going to do in and out tonight about how this game could happen, what could be some of the more fun plays. That's coming up later in the show. The revenge aspect for the guy we call the Reaper, that's coming up a little bit later in the middle, but we start right now. A snowy day all the way around. Conditions around the NFL were kind of fun, in my opinion, but it led to this. A thwarted comeback by the Ravens gets the Bills into the championship game against the Chiefs. This was a knockdown dragout, I felt, more so than I expected it to be. How are you feeling about the results and the Bills coming to Arrowhead?
First off, I just want to say good job. You pointed the right direction this time, so appreciate that.
I tried every now and then.
But I do think that this is fun. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to playing the Bills. I was honestly a little bit more worried about the Ravens than I was about the Bills. Kansas City has a pretty good idea of what the Bills are going to do, and they know what the Ravens were going to do, but the Ravens have gotten much better stopping the run or playing the run in the running game with Derrick Henry over the season and Lamar Jackson. So to me, this was also a story of Mark Andrews dropping the ball quite literally a couple times. A big fumble that cost him. You can't say it was points because they weren't in scoring position, but they were basically about to be in scoring position with that catch. So I do think that it's almost fair to say that he cost them points there. And then obviously the drop 2-point conversion would have tied the game. Now, who knows what happens if the Bills get the ball back and have a chance to go down and score. But at this point, it's Chiefs-Bills. Can't argue with the results. 1 and 2 in the regular season are playing for the chance to go to the Super Bowl, to likely face, I would guess, the Philadelphia Eagles, but we will see.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I felt a lot of fans want to see the other matchup against Jaden Daniels, the rookie sensation. Nice to see all you folks. We are live. We don't know that we'll get to questions, but we appreciate you guys being here, and I wanted to shout some of you out there visually. So if you're not hearing your name, go back and check the video because you are on there. And I like the thing that you said about the familiarity. I talked about this on RGR a little bit earlier, and I want to double down on it because I agree that the run game was a little bit more potent for the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens have been ascending, and I do feel like the Bills, while they've been effective and honestly pretty punishing to some teams, I don't feel like there's been a huge evolution from the last time the Chiefs played them. Am I crazy?
I wouldn't say that you're crazy. I think that what I'm looking at and what I'm trying to figure out for this game is what is going to be different from the last time that the Chiefs have played the Bills in the playoffs. Generally speaking, they've played them. This will be the 4th year in a row, 4 times in a row since 2020 that they've been playing them in the playoffs. And Kansas City's had a pretty good record in the playoffs versus the Bills. So we will see if that continues. You look at this though, and Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, what more could you really ask for when it comes to the AFC? The bigger thing that I think will come of this game, and will start probably tomorrow morning, if not already tonight, is where does this leave Lamar Jackson and his legacy? Because right now it's still, where's playoff Lamar?
He's right there. He's the same playoff Lamar.
Right. And that's the problem. I mean, he's still not going to be, he can't, doesn't this get him to the point where he can't, even if he goes next year and wins the Super Bowl and plays all 3 games, that he still can't get, or he would just get to 500?
I believe
so. His playoff record is going to be under 500 next year, no matter what, almost. unless they win the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about when you look at Lamar Jackson and how this team is built. And obviously they didn't have Zay Flowers, and that hurts, but teams have been dealing with injuries all season. And I'm going to be curious to see what the Buffalo Bills do coming to Arrowhead. It's going to be, Tyler Bass has had a bad time when playing the Chiefs in the playoffs. How does that play into it? The weather didn't seem to really hamper the kicking game for the Bills in this one. Is it going to be a different story in Kansas City? There's a lot to talk about in this title game, and Kansas City obviously has a lot to play for. They're going for the third straight championship game, or third straight Super Bowl, and I do think that this is going to be a lot of fun to watch and really talk about all week.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just in a selfish way, for me, like the continuation of it because of the history is even that much more so. I'm a Josh Allen fan. I liked him coming out. I enjoy the back and forth because I think in terms of guys that will just take it on their shoulders and raise their game in order to raise the game of everyone else around them, I would put Josh Allen right up there with Patrick Mahomes. Like 1 and 2, literally. And I'm not talking about golf game, the stuff that actually matters. So like for me to see this matchup and the chance to then right the wrong that we're going to talk about in the next segment, I think that's more the story that makes the Chiefs the big brother in this situation.
The big brother. In Mahomes, I will say this as well. Go back and watch. If you go back and watch any of the game that the Chiefs just played against the Houston Texans, I guarantee you Mahomes is going to want some of that back, and he is not going to be happy going into this next game because he did not play well. I'm not going to say he played bad. He had a great throw, and on second and third and fourth watch, that throw almost mimics what he did in Tampa Bay. Almost. He wasn't quite perpendicular, but almost as good as the one in Tampa Bay. But that one, and Matt made a great point yesterday when we talked about this, that one should make his Hall of Fame reel because the one in Tampa Bay was an incomplete pass. That should make should make the playoff or the Hall of Fame reel. But because it was an incomplete pass, I don't think it will. But that throw yesterday for Mahomes, and obviously less than 200 yards passing. The Chiefs offense didn't look as good as you were hoping, but with what they went through, with all the rust, with basically 3 weeks off, I do think that getting back into playing against the Houston Texans and starting to get back into normal situation with your rest and when you're going to be playing, I think is going to help this team. And I do think that they're going to be looking a lot better against the Buffalo Bills in a week.
Yeah, I am pretty excited about it. And motivation is a huge thing here. What does this mean for the Reaper to get his revenge? That's next.
Growing your small business in 2025 comes down to how well you can hire. And let's face it, better hires start with smarter insights. That's where LinkedIn comes in. With the strongest hiring data available, LinkedIn helps you identify the right candidates, giving you the confidence to make the best decisions for your business. I've used LinkedIn Jobs myself, and I can tell you it's a game changer when it comes to hiring the right fit. Small businesses are wearing a lot of hats, so every hire is crucial. LinkedIn gets that. That's why they connect you with the best candidates using data you won't find anywhere else. From unique skills and interests to the connections you share, LinkedIn helps you find the right person for the job. In fact, 72% of small businesses say LinkedIn has helped them find high-quality candidates. I know from experience how important it is to make the right hiring decisions. Having access to insights like what skills candidates have or how they're connected to your network can really help. That helps you feel confident when you pull the trigger. Hire smarter this year and find the next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnfl. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnfl to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has daily fantasy sports and makes it accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your money. Run your game all season long at Prize Picks. They make it simple, and they even invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So sign up today and you can get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. You don't even have to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the Gametime app and use our code LOCKEDONNFL, and you're going to get $50 instantly after you play a $5 lineup. Super simple. Download that app, use our code LOCKEDONNFL, and get that 50 bonus for playing a $5 line. It's super easy over at PrizePicks. This is my favorite aspect of this game. Nothing tops it for me. It's the thought that you have awoken the sleeping giant yet again, even as recently as last night, and all the hubbub about the calls and the announcers and everything else. But now it's like just checklist after checklist after checklist. Piss off Patrick Mahomes at your own peril. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is called the Reaper for a reason. He is the guy that will go out and basically rip your heart out at times. I mean, that's just the reality of how this goes. I mean, go back and this is what has to be giving Buffalo fans nightmares right now. Yeah, they have to be excited to get back to the AFC Championship game. Maybe they even think that they can win it, and maybe they can. We'll see. But you have to remember what has happened in the past with this Chiefs team. The Buffalo Bills were 13 seconds away from beating the Chiefs in the playoffs once, and it still didn't happen. This has got to be a little bit of a nightmare. So I think that they have to be excited. They're back in the AFC Championship game. They have another chance to go back to the Super Bowl. But can they get past Patrick Mahomes? They haven't been able to do it in the playoffs yet. Yeah, they can beat him in the regular season, but playoff Pat is different, and this team is different in the playoffs. And this team is also much better than what they were when they played the Buffalo Bills the last time, and a lot healthier.
Yeah, the health is certainly an aspect, and that's, I think, an underlying, like, beneath the surface. There's a tide. There's a river running in this ocean that is everybody getting healthier, everybody coming back. Like, look, the whole roster's back. Look out. We even got Jalen Watson, who most people had written off the entire season. And then on top of it, right. Yeah, fair enough. You're absolutely right. But then on top of it, you add all these other things like, oh, the NFL loves him, and he gets all this and back and forth, and he's not as good as Josh, and he's not as good as Lamar, and we won't even consider him for the MVP because he just wins ball games.
I love this. I think you need to change your name of your other stream to RGS because it's Ryan Goes Salty right now.
Good at that. Every year about this time, I get a little bit of that. It's all right.
Ryan is really salty, and I get it. Like, this is everything you want. This is exactly what you want if you're the defending Super Bowl champions. You've gotten everybody's best shot the entire season. The Bills haven't. They've gotten some people's good shots, but they haven't got everybody's best shot. This is their chance to go prove that they have the ability to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead in the playoffs and get over the hump. Can they do it? That's going to be the name of the game. I don't think so, and we'll have a lot to talk about this week as we get there. But when you talk about the Reaper, it's because of moments like this. It doesn't matter. The Bills can get up 10 points, and I'm not going to care. I'm going to have heartburn. I'm going to be stressed, but it doesn't matter because the reality is that you've watched the Chiefs do this over and over and over again, where they go in, they get down, and then all of a sudden they're back and they're somehow winning the game. And sometimes, I mean, go back to the first Super Bowl win. They were down 10 points and came back to win it by 11. They scored 3 touchdowns in a quarter and a half,
right?
Against the Super Bowl team.
Get them down and they just get funky. That's the way I'm going to put it for you fans of the old music. You just push him into a corner, and this guy in particular will come back at you. He throws a furious right hook out of the corner, and he brings the whole team with him. And that's what this becomes now, because the entire NFL world right now is on about how they ain't earning it. The Chiefs aren't really doing it. Patrick's not that good. Like, just please keep flashing that stuff in neon on billboards. Please do it all you can. It just helps.
Please. I'm begging you. Everybody pick the Bills, please. Yeah, because Patrick pays attention. Patrick, if you haven't learned by now, this is petty Patrick. He is always petty Patrick. Why people decide they want to give him, I absolutely love that meme. That is,
I gotta go find
exactly what I think about every single time we talk about petty Patrick. But if they haven't figured out yet, this is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you don't want to give Mahomes. You don't want to give him any more of this. I'm not the best. He's not the best player in the NFL. They gave him that to start the season. And you know what? something we haven't talked about, and I know he doesn't really care because he's not trying to play in it, but he wasn't even voted a Pro Bowler this year.
Right.
I'm not saying he probably deserved to be. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. His stats weren't there. He wasn't one of the best QBs in the AFC for a lot of different reasons. But do you want to give him more reasons to just be pissed off and, like, come out of the – like, you have a guy that's probably going to win MVP in Josh Allen. I think it's between Josh and Lamar, and I still think Josh is probably better this season than Lamar was. But good luck. I don't know what else to say at this point. I mean, you look at it, and it's just every time Mahomes finds a way to get it done. And is he going to get it done this time? I think he will. A lot to talk about in this game. We're going to have a lot with ins and outs, but this is everything you want as a Chiefs fan. I was actually talking to somebody about this earlier today. I've been a Chiefs fan for 30 years. We've been covering this team together for 11 years now.
Yep.
Podcasting for 8 or 9, but covering it for at least 11 together. And I think I covered it for maybe half a season before you and I started together. So we've been through this. We were through the ringer when they were. Oh, yeah. The number one, having the number one pick. To be where they are and to go to 7 straight AFC championship games and host 6 out of 7. That's the bigger one to me. Like, you can say what you want about going to 7, but hosting 6 out of 7.
That's
and really quick, my last point. I had to laugh. I'm sitting there watching that game tonight, and they talk about how John Harbaugh is the winningest coach on the road in the playoffs, and I'm just sitting here going,
got to play on the road to get that record, right?
Yeah, Andy Reid's never going to be there because he isn't on the road.
No, hosting's a little bit better. I'm just going to say it, but there are a lot of in and outs to this game. We're going to have the whole thing for you all week, and we will give you our predictions and our pregame on Friday, so don't miss that. But coming up next, we are going to get into the ins and the outs, what we think of this revenge game. It's a game that we play. We're even going to get you guys involved here real quick. We'll be right back and hit that next. From big upsets to game-winning drives, the NFL playoffs are better with FanDuel, because right now, new customers can bet just $5 to get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $200 in bonus bets back on your account, win or lose. Right now, FanDuel app gives you everything you need for live bets, for same-game parlays, and much, much more. You can get in the action right now, whether it's the wild card round to see what the Bills and Broncos do, whether it's the Chargers, or you're just getting ready for the divisional round where the Chiefs are back in it. Visit FanDuel.com today. Get signed up. Get started with $200 in bonus bets. Right now, it's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff unforgettable with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Folks, make sure you like and sub and do the stuff and go to KC Chiefs Corner and come over to NFL 33 and RGR Football and check out Rogue APC when we get to it.
I still think it needs to be RGS for this week.
It just may be. Maybe till the end of the season. Maybe in March I'll cool it. We'll see.
Hey, you love in and out so much. Maybe you can just go with RGS for the rest of for 1 week.
I can do that. Here's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna. I see a defense that I want to take advantage of. I'm going to throw Chris an audible here real quick. We're going to do in and out for ourselves. But since there's so many of you in here tonight on what is kind of an ad-lib night, and I see a lot of questions in there, I'm going to do this. Type in or out, and your question. The best one will be our last one tonight. It's got to be clean. This is a family show, folks. We are professionals.
Yes, it is.
So please keep it clean. And we will pick one to do at the end of the night. Go. Chris, for me, the question comes down to setting up the best case scenario. I think DJ Humphries has a chance to play in this game. I think I would prefer it. Are you in or out on that?
I'm in. And honestly, it's mainly because I like what I see from Joe Thuney at left tackle, but he is so much better at left guard. And I really want to protect Patrick Mahomes from Ed Oliver. It's not necessarily the Bills pass rush. The Bills interior pass rush is okay. But Ed Oliver, of all people, I definitely want – I don't want Caliendo going up against Ed Oliver. And I'm not going to be surprised if that's what ends up happening, because Kansas City seems to feel like maybe that Thuney is their guy at left tackle. And if that's the case and Andy Reid wants to go that way, I guess I'm okay with it. But I'd rather have Humphries there as the left tackle, because To me, I think that it's a matter of getting him up and ready and getting him as healthy as you possibly can and getting him as close to 100% as he possibly can be with the ACL injury that he had from last year. So I would love to see Humphreys. And the other question, the backside of that question is it possible if they don't play him this week as the left tackle that they look at doing it in 2 weeks in the Super Bowl if they make it? Because to me, then you give him another almost month from when he's really got a lot of playing time. So it's up in the air.
I'm out on that. If he can't play this one, I'm not making his first actual action in the last 6 weeks at that point.
Well, no, because he played against Denver.
I guess that's true. Okay, fair enough. I'm still hesitant to do that. I just can't.
People like Salty Ryan.
Okay, well, Red's got a particular kinship, so I'm gonna let that one go.
Fair enough. When I look at in or out, it's a question of, are you in or out on the fact that this is a game? This is a almost career-defining moment for Josh Allen in this game. I know we're mainly talking Chiefs, but at this point, it's a question to me, is this a career-defining moment with his chance to beat Patrick Mahomes? Because he hasn't done it in the playoffs. He can do it in the regular season, but he can't do it in the playoffs.
If he were to pull it off, I think it would be a career-defining moment. If he does not, I don't think that it is. Because, as you said, it's more of the same. It doesn't break the pattern. And I do think he'll have another opportunity. I think the Bills are going to be strong for a while. They've drafted well. They have youth there. So I do think this will be an ongoing series. So I'm out on it being career-defining both ways.
Fair enough. I think it's career-defining if he beats him. I don't think it's career-defining. I agree with you. I think I'm out on both ways. I'm going to go back-to-back here. Sean McDermott is on the hot seat if they don't win.
I don't think so. I'm going to go out on that because I respect being in what he does, and I would like some more trades, Brandon. So if we can just arrange that in the offseason, that'd be great. But I do think that getting to the AFC Championship, you can't, in all responsibility to your franchise, you can't change the head coach at that point and do yourself any justice. So I would not say he's on the hot seat.
I don't know. I think it depends on how he loses. If they lose, I think it depends on how he loses. Because if you go back to another 13-second situation in that type of game, and it's because he made bad calls at the end of the game by doing what he did and how it got there, I think that could cost him his job. And the reality is that he's had chances to get them in better positions. It's not like it's been all season. Yes, they're a fantastic team, but I questioned that one for a while. So your turn.
I'm not going to give away the game plan, but this will come up throughout the week, so I don't think it's huge. But in or out, the Chiefs stopped Josh Allen from running into the end zone.
I'm going to go out. I would love to say in, but I think that there's too many other things this defense has to prepare for, and Josh Allen is going to find something if they get inside the 5-yard line and find a way into the end zone, in my opinion. And they've been running a lot of sneaks if they get close, and he's a big body, so that's the other problem with that is if they get close enough, he'll run a sneak. And here's the thing, though: if he runs a sneak, you better be taking a shot. And I'm not saying try to play dirty. I'm just saying take a shot. He's putting himself in harm's way. Take a shot.
Yeah, you have to just to stop him. It's completely legitimate because you have to sell out to stop Josh Allen with the run. There's no way around it.
Absolutely.
Okay. One more, and then I'm going to leave it to you to pick out of the ones that I've started, the people who follow the format. Thank you, guys.
One more. In or out. This is a game. This Chiefs offense takes it to a whole new level this week against the Buffalo defense, and not just because it's the Buffalo defense who's not good to begin with, but because they start actually showing that they have the ability to do things that we haven't seen all season long, and they get everybody involved. They get Hollywood involved. They get DeAndre Hopkins involved. They get Pacheco and Hunt running. Like, you didn't see that even in the playoff game against the Texans, and I do think that they held stuff back because it sure didn't look like they were really trying in that second half.
So you're telling me more than one wide receiver catches a pass, do they do that? Yeah, I'm pretty in on that.
I'd say 3.
Three?
I'd say
Okay.
at least 3.
Bare
if
minimum.
not 4.
Yes, I'm comfortable with that. And then I do think this is one of the games that they have things in the bag for. If you're one of those people who doesn't feel that they've been saving plays specifically, in general, okay, fine. Maybe they've had to use a little bit more because games have been close. I can get by with that. But there are very specific plays in order to execute against this team on offense and defense, in my mind, for both of these coordinators and play callers. And I do think they have a bag to go in. I think they pass at least to 3 wide receivers. I will take the over on that. And I do think we see multiple new styles of attack, or at least play schemes that play off of what we may have not seen to this point.
You know, I'm sitting here looking at these questions, and we are sitting here at about 26 minutes. I think we can do all 3 of them. There's now 4.
There's 5. Okay.
5.
Okay.
Okay. Let's rapid fire.
If you're comfortable, editor, rapid fire. Let's hit it. For
Rapid
all of
fire.
you guys, thank you.
Yep. Why don't we throw the running backs anymore? All 3 are great catchers of the ball, in or out, that they're going to start throwing to the running backs in this next game.
Out that they should. They need to attack vertically against this defense, particularly in the secondary, especially if Rapp is out. I think they have to go vertical.
I'm going to say in, and it's not Pirine, or it's not Pacheco necessarily. It's Hunt and Pirine.
Okay.
In or out? Oh, sorry. I'll let you do that.
On my hands off.
In or out? Leo plays more defensive snaps and spies Allen.
In, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love it because Leo is a beast, and I want to see him go up against Allen. In or out? Lamar Hunt's trophy sitting in a cold, dark Bills trophy case.
Out all the way, completely.
Agreed. I'm out on that one as well. Spags sends pressures on early downs. In or out?
I'm going to go in, but it's going to be atypical pressure. I think he's going to use the linebacker A-gap type stuff a little bit more to try to thwart that run game on early down so you don't get Josh on 3rd and short.
I'm going to say in, but I'm going to say it for a little bit of a different reason. I'm going to say I think he does it because I think if you go back and watch the Texans game, they couldn't stop the Texans at certain times. And then all of a sudden Spags said, okay, I'm done with this crap. And he just started sending pressure. Like, I understand you can't send pressure every single play. I get that. You can't blitz every single play. I understand that. But I think he found something in what this defense is really good at and found different ways to get it done. And I do think that they have a very good idea as to where to send and get pressure defensively in this game. And I think that they're going to be sending pressure on early downs.
I'm down.
In or out? Bass misses another field goal. Wide right.
And all of Buffalo is triggered. If it's anything like the weather was this week, I'm in.
I'm in. But I will also say I don't think we gave enough credit yesterday to Dave Tobe and his field goal block unit. I'm not going to be shocked if they don't get another block going into this game because they seem to have a pretty good idea as to how that is how to get that done.
I'll go you one further. I don't care if Justin Reed gets called offsides. He scares them enough that everybody else gets through. So let's go for it.
Well, and I honestly, if they're that scared about it, I wouldn't mind him going offsides on something that's not, like a 4th and 7, 4th and 8, where it's not going to give him a first down, and then put it in their mind. Because if you get in Bass's mind, I think he's going to miss, especially in this weather, especially in cold weather.
I think you certainly have a point. What do you guys think? Any of those questions? 5 great ones from our fans to wrap up in or out. Put your answers down below in the YouTube comments. Thank you. 800 of you in here tonight for a kind of impromptu live stream to do the show. Now that the Chiefs know that they are playing the Bills, thank you guys for being with us. Make sure that you like and sub and do the thing. Get all the business that we send you on every channel all the time, even on our personal rigs. Check us out on X as well. We'll be back for you all week long as the Chiefs get to look at the Buffalo Bills in order to get their revenge and another step closer to that 3-peat. Have a great one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.